abusuya mo bi akwa ba edeba akroma TV GH so yaw amwa mensa ene midin eye onmunyamfo Dr. Gideon Boako a woye kasamafo edema eye Dr. Bawumia odin simbi ato Ghana monten so a yensa aka bia ye pese eye atiefo ene ahwefo nso enya bi etie ne kama pa na anensem no ne tenten ne tietie nyina ene se even eye owura onmunyamfo Mahama kola woye incompetent kola pese oba bi na Bawumia chese Ghana for agena to ma obadwuma gidigidi no na MPP for person mototo no form also omo nyesa mistake ne ta omo de Bawumia ebetu franka no said be ya breaking the 8 no ebe ya simple kula ama eye osunkoko amanko MPP na Bawumia mum na Ghana for ina ehia no abusuya yenkwa ne nkotie ne nsam a wode eto Ghana mountain so na yemla sisi ya.
It has never happened. You understand, President Akufo-Addo?
Including 2007. I know 2007 Akufo-Addo won more Ashanti.
We voted. 2007 was single.
Yeah.
2010 and 2014, Mr. Chamati never got more than 20%. Okay, so the sweetness of the pudding they say is in the eating. You should be able to convince people within the party that who amongst the 10, okay, do the people of Ashanti identify with. And they will tell you over the years, it is Bawumia they see. Funerals, it is Bawumia. Party events, it is Bawumia. Anything party, it is Bawumia. Akwaside, it is Bawumia. This, it is Bawumia. They won't let it be that you come from within us. You always sit on the fence. When it is elections time, you show up and you want to convince us you are the person we should give our voice to. They'll give it to the person who identifies with them. And Dr. Bawumia has that. Unlike other candidates who may be popular at the top and not at the base, Bawumia's popularity emanates from the base. Okay? And then it springs
so he's not an establishment candidate.
No. So I put it this way. From the grassroots to the grass top, everybody says it is Bawumia. Okay? So Bawumia's support is not only at the grass top. It is from the grassroots. And if you look at Saturday, the people who are going to vote, if you look at the majority of them are grassroots people.
Is that true?
Yes, you're talking about 963 or so super delegates.
How are they grassroots?
Out of this, 275 of them are constituency chairmen. You cannot tell me the constituency chairman is not a food soldier. Okay? Yeah. 275 of them are constituency chairmen. These are people who have been going to the grounds to work for the party, spend their money at funerals, spend their money at outdooring, spend their money at weddings, and all of that, doing everything on behalf of the party at the base. So they are the senior prefects of the grassroots at the base. 275. Then you have 272 regional executives.
Regional
executives.
At the top of the region.
At the top of the region. They are also foot soldiers. I was once Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer. You dare not have told me, because I was Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer, I was not a foot soldier. From Impretre to Kofor Kam to Chenchenkura to Memura So #1 to Dromankuma to everywhere in Ashanti Region, I know. Because I was a foot soldier, regional youth organizer, going to the grounds to do campaign for the party. So I am a foot soldier. So the regional executive is a foot soldier. 275, okay? Plus 275 give you over 500 delegates.
They are also 275?
Exactly.
Okay.
The regional executive 16 times 17 is 272 or so.
Okay.
Plus 275. They are more than 500, getting to 600 out of the
54%
exactly of the total.
And so they are foot soldiers.
Exactly.
So you are saying they will reflect the foot soldiers thinking?
They will reflect the foot soldiers thinking. That is why the Ashanti Regional Chairman have issued a statement today. You've seen the statement from the Ashanti Regional Chairman, signed by the Nshiaeso Constituency Chairman, Chairman Jokad, signed by the Odotobri Constituency Chairman, who is the Dean of the Ashanti Chairman, Chairman Don Peace from Odotobri, and they are saying that, look, they have held meetings with their grassroots and the foot soldiers, and their vote on Saturday is going to reflect what the grassroots have asked them to do. That is why Ashanti is doing something unique. You go and vote, you go back to your constituency, sit down with the grassroots, the party people, foot soldiers on the screen, and watch and tell them who you voted for, that your vote represented them. So at the end of the day, the outcome of the 26th August vote, okay, on Saturday, is going to reflect what the grassroots suggest. And the Ashanti chairman are saying that they have listened to the grassroots. The grassroots have told them that they should go and vote for Dr. Mahama Bawumia because he is the person that the ordinary party person identifies with throughout and throughout, from opposition to in government. Bawumia has been the person who has been there for the party and the grassroots people. There's no doubt about that. The party people decided on who to vote for, not today. If anybody has any thinking that the delegates of the party, the foot soldiers, are going to decide who to vote for today, then that person is making a mistake. This decision has been taken over years by the association, their involvement, and the engagement with the party and Dr. Mahama Bawumia. So indeed, if you want to look across the spectrum, it shouldn't be so difficult for anybody to know that the person to beat John Mahama in John Mahama's own backyard is Dr. Mahama Bawumia. When it comes to the South, we consolidate our gains, we get our majority seats. There's no way, okay, that presenting a fresh candidate to the swing regions will translate into votes for that. History has taught us. President Mills was presented as a candidate from the swing regions. Central region never voted for him. For 12 years, it took 12 years for Professor Mills to turn the swing region. Even after that, it went back. Pakwesi Misata couldn't do it. Nana Jenopokwadjman couldn't do it. So if you want somebody to turn the swing regions, it is not to say that we are presenting a fresh candidate who comes from the place. You need to really read through the political landscape to see who, over the years, identifies so well with your party people. Because look, it is the party people who are going to market the candidate. If the party people have a feeling that this candidate is an election candidate, he only comes to the fore when we are going for elections. After that, you don't see him, you don't hear from him again. Even when you ask a party person who has been using her resources, mega salary, to work for the party and that person, they feel reluctant. They always want to see somebody that they can identify as one of their own. And that person is Dr. Mahama Bawumia. That is why we all think that we have to present Bawumia. He has the vision, he has the ideas, he has the charisma, he has the character. The Ghanaian people believe that we need a president today who will be able to help us tame and even reduce corruption. It is not about slogans, and it's not about mouth. The president who will put institutions and pillars in place that even when you have a bad president and you have the right institutional frameworks, you'll be able to deal with corruption. If you're able to digitize your systems such that the payment system architecture is widespread for everybody, pervasive across the country, people do not have to have face-to-face interaction with people, people do not have to pay bribes, bribe will be paid. Now, if you look at the Ghana.gov, you want to do passport, visa application, whatever, you just pay online. You need that kind of modern-day contemporary leader who will be able to think outside the box to bring ideas that move in tandem with the contemporary trends within the fickle and the changing system of the world, to be able to align everybody and deal with pressing problems. Everybody wants corruption to be solved. How do we solve corruption? It is not by word of mouth. It is by putting in place the right structures and place. And that is what Dr. Mahama Bawumia has been doing. He's a party person. He's somebody who has sacrificed for this party. He's identified with the party in opposition. When things are tough, he's there for us. He doesn't come out to talk against the party. You made that point. And we need to appreciate that going forward and make sure that we win 2024 election. We don't have any other option.
Okay, so the question about the Dr. Bawumia's promises, do I get a sense from you that those are questions for the main election and this is an internal contest? Or should we, because those,
we can deal with
those
that.
Are being raised as if you present Dr. Bawumia, potentially your opponents can say this about him, and that might resonate with the Ghanaian, some of the Ghanaian people.
Let me deal with that quickly.
Yes.
That is also
that the promise and fail.
Yeah, that is also a false narrative. Okay? You see, there are those who are trying to create the impression that, unfortunately, that this government has failed. And if this government has failed, it is failing on the footings of President Akufo-Addo and Vice President Bawumia. Is that not what they are saying? It's an attempt of give the dog a bad name and hang it. Unfortunately, some of the people who are making these pronouncements are people who have served in President Akufo-Addo's government before. People who have been in this government for 6.5 years, people who are board chairs, people who have held positions in this government. But for the sake of power, they want to talk down on this government so that they can have their way. I want to establish that, yes, the NPP, like any other political party, has not been able to deal with every single promise that we make to the Ghanaian people. And there's no political party that has come to rule this country that has been able to deal with every single promise that they made. Other than that, why is John Mahama coming again? Even John Mahama, who became president, and under him we saw the highest level of doomsday, queuing for fuel, astronomical prices on electricity tariffs, and all of the inability to buy chalk, pay teacher training allowance, nursing training allowance, and all the community problems that we had under President Mahama. He still believes and thinks that he has something to offer and can offer, and his party has presented him. How much more Bawumia, who is a vice president? So the vice president is part of this government. Bawumia will never shy away from the achievements of this government and from any shortfalls of this government. But what we need to understand is that we are into election